Hello class, Mr. Geisler here. Continuing talking about properties of real numbers, we're going to talk about the different rules that we use for real numbers, the different properties. The first one we're going to talk about here, and these apply to both adding and multiplying, not subtracting or dividing. Okay, those do not apply to it, just the adding and multiplying. First one's a commutative property. It says we can add or multiply in any order. So for example, x plus 8 is equal to 8 plus x. Okay? If I was going to do a multiplying problem, I could say 4 times 2 is equal to 2 times 4, because they both equal 8. The associative property says I could take a set of parentheses and move it, and as long as the order stays the same, it's the same problem. So y plus 2 in parentheses plus 8 is the same thing as y plus 2 plus 8 in parentheses. Notice, just the parentheses moved. The identity property says 1 times q equals q. So anything times 1 is the same thing back. Here, this says anything plus 0 is equal to that. Okay? So q plus 0 is equal to q. 5 plus 0 is equal to 5, and so on and so forth. The inverse property says if I take two things and they're opposites and I add them together, I get 0. Okay? So the inverse here would be negative 7 plus 7 or 7 plus negative 7 would equal 0. If I was going to do that for the multiplication, I would say, for example, that 2 times 1/2, these two are inverses of each other, would equal 1. Okay? So those would be, that's whatever would give you 1. The closure property says that if I have two real numbers and I add them together, I get a real number. Or if I have two real numbers and I multiply them together, I get a real number. The distributive property, if there's a number outside the parentheses, everything inside of it gets multiplied by that 3. So 3 times a is 3a, 3 times b is 3b. So 3 times a plus b is equal to 3a plus 3b. So let's take a look at an example here on the bottom. Name the property illustrated. So 17 plus 13, which is 30, is equal to 13 plus 17, which is also 30. Which one of these properties do you think it would be? Which one do you think it would be? Yep, I agree with you. This would definitely be the commutative property. I changed the order, but the result was exactly the same. So we're going to work today on identifying and using these different properties to solve problems.